Great! I would like to show you a visual example of why I think some people don't even recognize that they might have ADHD until they reach adulthood. Over the last several years, I've gotten comments from people regularly saying that they can't recall ever having ADHD symptoms when they were a child. To which I say, no, you probably did, you just managed it really well. So then why would people start noticing it more as they get older in life? Why would those symptoms seem to get worse? I think that's an easy answer. I believe a lot of it has to do with your responsibilities being completely disproportionate to your bandwidth, meaning that the more bandwidth you have, the more responsibilities you can take on successfully. Let me demonstrate. Here are two glasses representing bandwidth as a child. This one is for a neurotypical child, and this one is for an undiagnosed ADHD child. And this water represents responsibilities and tasks that each child must complete. So let's see what happens. Nice. Now for the ADHD child. So upon first glance, what do you notice? First, you might notice that the neurotypical child has a slightly larger bandwidth than the undiagnosed ADHD child. But what's the other thing you notice? Neither of the glasses overflow. Think of it like this. We can't actually see what the bandwidth of each child is. From an outsider's perspective, we're just able to see that there are two kids who were able to handle the same amount of work. What we can't see is that the neurotypical child has a decent amount more of bandwidth to work with, whereas the undiagnosed ADHD child is filled almost to the brim. But since they were able to complete all of their tasks within their bandwidth, those symptoms are not very prevalent, which makes it not only very easy for people on the outside to overlook it, but it's likely that the child doesn't even understand. Because to them, this is just normal. They don't realize that not every other kid is like this. So let's fast forward through time. Let's jump all the way into adulthood and see how a neurotypical and an ADHD person's bandwidth compare. Wait, that doesn't look right. Why is a neurotypical so much bigger? Are you saying that as ADHD people, we don't have as much bandwidth? I don't believe you. Only one way to find out though. Let's give them each the same amount of responsibilities to see how they do. First, the neurotypical. Oh. And now for an ADHD person. That's filling up real quick. Filling up a little too fast. What is happening right now? Why am I getting so overwhelmed? Why am I panicking? Why is there so much for me to do? I'm kind of freaking out right now. I think I'm just gonna have to shut down because I don't know where to start and I'm having a meltdown right now. So it's almost as if we meet our bandwidth way quicker. And when we keep piling responsibilities onto our already limited bandwidth, it starts to overflow. And the more we put on there, the worse it gets. Until it reaches a point where it becomes almost unmanageable. But Joe, I don't understand, because the neurotypical overflow too. Right, because they're human beings. You see, nobody with ADHD ever said that neurotypicals don't understand what it's like to feel overwhelmed. We've never questioned it. We know that you're going to experience points where there's so much on your plate that you overflow too. The key difference here is the amount of bandwidth of what you can handle and the frequency of which it happens. You contained all those responsibilities on your plate far better than we did because you had more bandwidth to handle those. And although those responsibilities will flow over sometimes, the mess that's left behind is more manageable to clean up. Whereas for people with ADHD, it's like a tornado just ripped through our mind. There's just debris everywhere. And the cleanup is a long and tedious process. And for some people, they don't notice this about themselves until they reach adulthood. It's not until they have all those added responsibilities that those symptoms start coming to light. So hopefully that helps.